Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to start with identification of bacteria. See, you might have learned about how to cultivate the bacteria, what are all the various media available for cultivation, and what are the various methods for cultivation of bacteria. And once the bacteria are cultivated, now the question is how to identify those bacteria. Coming to learning objectives of this particular lesson, this lesson is to know various identification methods available and to know different biochemical reactions. See, we can identify the bacteria by conventional methods of culture. We can cultivate the bacteria by conventional methods, that is by culture, and then we can identify with the help of biochemical reactions. Apart from that, we have, without cultivating the bacteria, we have some automation methods available directly for identification of bacteria. And not only that, we have molecular methods. Molecular methods in the sense we identify the DNA or RNA of the bacteria from the clinical sample directly. For this, we need not to cultivate the bacteria. Right? And now coming to the conventional methods of identification of bacteria first. In that, direct microscopy is there. That means we collect the sample and then we can prepare a smear on glass slide and then we can stain them by different staining techniques like Gram staining, Albert staining or Ziel-Nielsen staining technique depending upon the clinical sample. And then we can observe the bacteria directly under the microscope. Right? But with this, we can identify only the morphology of bacteria. We can't study the complete characters of the bacteria. That is the disadvantage. That's why we try to grow the bacteria in the laboratory by using various culture media, and then we study the characters in detail for their identification. That's what culture is meant for. Now coming to the identification of bacteria. Once we grow the bacteria like this on culture media, they produce colonies. Colony is nothing but each dot you are observing is called as a colony. That colony represents a progeny from a single bacterial cell. See here some lakhs of colonies are there and each colony will have some lakhs of bacteria, right? And colony characters also will help in the identification of bacteria. That is in the form of, we have to study the shape of the colony, whether it is circular colony or irregular colony, and then we have to see the size of the colony, whether they are small, medium sized or big. And then we have to see the surface of the colony, whether it is smooth or rough colony, and then the edges, whether the entire edges are there, lobate edges are there, crenated margins are there, undulated margins are there. And then we have to see the texture, whether they are transparent colonies, translucent colonies or opaque colonies. Transparent means light can pass through the colony. Translucent also same, and opaque means we can't pass the light through the colony, that is opaque. Usually gram positive bacteria will have opaque colonies and gram negative bacteria either transparent or translucent, right? And then once we study the colony characters, then we can prepare a smear from the colony again, and then we can do the Grams or Alberts or Aspa staining, and again we can see the morphology of bacteria and we can identify to some extent. And the another point we can test is motility, whether the bacteria are motile or non-motile. That will help for the identification of bacteria again. See here, to detect the ability of an organism to ferment a carbohydrate. See here, bacteria will utilize sugars, that is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate may be a monosaccharide, polysaccharide, disaccharide, or simple starch also. Some of the bacteria can utilize these sugars or carbohydrates by fermentation for their energy production. Fermentation is anaerobic reaction, and some of the bacteria will produce acid as the end product, and some of the bacteria along with acid they produce gas also as a result of fermentation. And how to check? Some bacteria will ferment only certain sugars, and some of the bacteria will ferment some other sugars. That will help in the identification of the organism. For that, we need to have a carbohydrate fermentation medium that is prepared in a test tube. That means we'll take peptone water and then we add 1% of the required sugar, 1% sugar solution we add, and inside there is a small test tube which is called as Durham's tube. And with that we add an indicator called as Andread's indicator. And if that particular sugar is fermented by the bacteria, there will be color change to pink. This is light yellow, pink color. That will turn to pink color. That pink color indicates positive reaction, and the presence of gas bubble indicates pink color indicates acid production, and along with gas bubble, if it is there, that indicates acid and gas. That is about carbohydrate fermentation test. And the second test is catalase test. See here, the purpose of this particular test is it demonstrates the presence of an enzyme called catalase enzyme that catalyzes the release of oxygen from hydrogen peroxide. See, some of the bacteria will have catalase enzyme in them, and when the bacteria are having catalase enzyme, when you expose the bacteria to hydrogen peroxide, the catalase enzyme produced by the organism will split hydrogen peroxide into water and nascent oxygen. Some of the organisms will have catalase enzyme, some won't have catalase enzyme. That helps in the identification of the organism. Then how to perform this test in the laboratory? First we have to take hydrogen peroxide on glass slide, and then we have to identify a particular organism. Take the colony with the help of glass rod or platinum loop. Mix the colony in hydrogen peroxide. Immediately you can see the bubbles, production of gas bubbles. Gas bubbles because nascent oxygen is released from hydrogen peroxide. That is by catalase enzyme. Production of gas bubbles, we call it as effervescence, indicates positive catalase test. We have to pick up the colony either with glass rod or platinum wire loop, but not with the nichrome wire loop, because nichrome wire loop gives false positive reaction. Mainly to differentiate between staphylococci and streptococci, we do catalase test. Staphylococci are catalase positive and streptococci are catalase negative. That is about catalase test, and here we can do it on the culture plate directly also. See, on the surface of the colony itself, hydrogen peroxide is poured. Then immediately you can see the gas bubbles if the organism is catalase positive. That is about. Now coming to the other biochemical test, that is oxidase test. Oxidase test. Here it is to detect the enzyme cytochrome oxidase, which catalyzes the transport of electrons between bacteria under redox diet. Main aim of oxidase test is to detect the enzyme cytochrome oxidase. Some of the bacteria has the ability to produce that enzyme cytochrome oxidase. The main action of that enzyme is it catalyzes the transport of electrons between bacteria and a dye, redox dye. What is that dye we are using to perform this oxidase test? That is nothing but 1% freshly prepared solution of tetramethyl paraphenyline diamino dihydrochloride. We call it as oxidase reagent. 1% solution, that is 100 grams, 100 ml of water. If you are taking 1 gram of oxidase reagent, you have to mix in that, and it has to be prepared freshly same day. Suppose now if you are doing oxidase test, just 10 minutes before you have to prepare the solution, tetramethyl paraphenyline diamino dihydrochloride. Once you prepare the solution, how to perform the oxidase test? Here you are observing two strips, sterile strips, filter paper strips, and those strips you have to dip the strips in the solution. Okay, first we have to prepare the solution and then keep it ready. Three methods are there. One is plate method. The solution directly you can pour it on the plate having colonies. That is one method. Second method is you can take the filter papers, dip the filter paper in the oxidase reagent, then do the test. Third method is dry filter paper. Prepare solution, dip the filter papers and dry the filter papers and store them, and then you can use them whenever you want. Right? Like this, here it is either wet or dry. Same here. Take the filter paper strips and then pick up the colony just like a catalyst test with the help of glass rod or platinum wire loop. Reason is same. Nichrome wire loop gives false positive. So smear the colony on oxidase strip. If it is oxidase positive, immediately within 5 seconds you can get the purple color. If it is oxidase negative, there is no color change. That is about oxidase test. Intense purple hue within 5 seconds. That is positive. Oxidase negative. Pseudomonas, Vibrio cholera, all these will give positive reaction for oxidase test. That is for their identification. Next, coming to the other biochemical reactions called as IMVIC reactions, indole, methyl red, osproscar and citrate utilization. All the four combinedly will be considered as IMVIC reactions. Among those four, first one is indole production test, that is meant for detection of indole, which is produced from an amino acid tryptophan. Some of the bacteria will produce indole when they are using amino acid tryptophan. That indole production will help in the identification of bacteria like Escherichia coli. For that, the medium is peptone water. Here peptone water is taken in the test tube, and then we have to inoculate the organism which we want to check for indole production, and then incubate the test tube for overnight incubation. After overnight incubation, we have to add a reagent called as Covax reagent. Covax reagent. What is that Covax reagent? You know, it is a combination of para-dimethylaminobenzoaldehyde, isoamyl alcohol, concentrated sulfuric acid. These three will be there in the Covax reagent. Just a few drops of Covax reagent you have to add to the peptone water culture. Peptone water culture. Peptone water means peptone is nothing but partially digested protein. Protein is nothing but amino acid. Amino acid in the sense tryptophan also will be there. If indole is produced from tryptophan, this tryptophan, which is an amino acid, it will combine with the aldehyde and then it produces a red color. Red color ring is positive. See, this is positive. Red color ring is positive. Yellow color ring is negative. Especially Escherichia coli will give positive. That is for its identification. Second is methyl red test. Methyl red test. In IMVIC, second is methyl red test. Here the purpose is some of the bacteria will ferment glucose and they produce stable acid end products. Acid pH is below 7. So the pH will be below 4.5. It is maintained at 4.5. This ability we can check with the help of methyl red test. For that you need a medium called as glucose phosphate peptone water. See, this medium is glucose phosphate peptone water, otherwise called as MRVP broth. MRVP broth. Why? Because for both methyl red test and VP test we use the same broth, same medium. That's why it is called MRVP broth. And then we have to inoculate the organism in this MRVP broth, incubate for 24 hours. 24 hours. After 24 hours of incubation, we have to add few drops of methyl red. That is the reagent here. Methyl red has to be added. Immediately red color is produced if it is positive for methyl red test. That means the glucose phosphate is having glucose and the organism has utilized glucose by fermentation and it produced the stable acid end products. That Escherichia coli is positive for methyl red test, right? That is for its identification. Now coming to negative color is yellow. See, red color is positive and yellow color is negative for MR. Third test in Nimmic reactions, that is Ohs-Proskar test, right? Ohs-Proskar test. Ohs-Proskar test means it is for some of the bacteria ferment carbohydrates with production of acetyl methyl carbonyl from pyruvic acid or its reduction product 2,3-butylene glycol. See here, acid end products are completely when the sugar is carbohydrate is utilized, stable acid end products, that is MR test. But here some of the bacteria will utilize carbohydrate and produce only intermediate products, not the end products, like acetyl methyl carbonyl or 2,3-butylene glycol. That property we can detect with VP test. Same MRVP broth. And then we had to inoculate that MRVP broth, and after overnight incubation we had to add some reagents. Like first we had to add 40% KOH, potassium hydroxide, and then we had to add 5% alpha naphthol in ethanol, 5% alpha naphthol in alcohol, 3 ml we had to add, and then expose it to the oxygen. Open the cap and open and keep it for 5 minutes. Then immediately you can see the crimson pink color. Positive color is pink color within 2 to 5 minutes to crimson, dark crimson pink it becomes within 30 minutes. That indicates positive Ohs-Proskar test. Is yellow color, that is MRVP. If Escherichia coli will be negative for VP test and the Klebsiella will be positive for VP. Now coming to the fourth test in MRV, that Immic reaction, that is citrate utilization test. Citrate utilization test. See, for the growth of any organism, for the growth of any bacteria, certain minimum requirements are there. One is a water source, water should be there. A carbohydrate source should be there. Carbohydrate is coming from carbon source is coming from carbohydrate, and the nitrogen is also required. Nitrogen is coming from peptone. But those three, carbon source should be there, nitrogen source should be there, and water. But here some of the organisms, without utilizing any carbon, they can utilize citrate. Without carbohydrate, they can utilize citrate as sole source of carbon and energy, and an ammonium salt a source of nitrogen without peptone, right? On citrate and ammonium salt can be utilized by the bacteria instead of carbohydrates and protein as sources of carbon and nitrogen. That property we detect in citrate utilization test. Right, we have two varieties of media. One is Coaser's medium, that is liquid medium, no indicator will be there, and the second one is Simmons citrate medium. It is a solid medium with an indicator bromothymol blue. See, what to do is, this is Simmons citrate utilization test medium. The original color is green color, and if it turns to blue color with colony, that is Simmons citrate positive. Blue color, deep pressure blue we call it as, with colonies, that indicates a positive citrate utilization test. If it is Koser test, I already told it is a liquid medium without indicator, so you can't see any color change. Growth only is an indication of a Koser's positive test. Any liquid medium, growth is by presence of turbidity. If turbidity is there, that indicates growth. That is about citrate utilization test. Usually Klebsiella will be positive for citrate utilization test and negative for Escherichia coli. That is about citrate utilization test. And coming to the other biochemical tests for identification of bacteria, one more is their nitrate reduction test. Especially this test is used for identification of bacteria from Enterobacteriaceae group of organisms like Escherichia coli, Klebsiella, Salmonella, Shigella, whatever you take. All members of the family Enterobacteriaceae, they are nitrate reducing organisms. Right, means reduction of nitrate to nitrite, and nitrite will be reduced to nitrogen gas. Right, that is by production of an enzyme called nitrate reductase here. Here nitrite reductase here, second one. So how to detect that particular test? By the help of nitrate broth. See here it is nitrate broth. Nitrate broth is nothing but peptone water with potassium nitrate. Peptone water with potassium nitrate. That nitrate broth you had to incubate with the colony, and after overnight incubation you had to add two reagents. One is nitrate A, that is sulfonelic acid in glacial acetic acid. Nitrate B, alpha naphthalamine in glacial acetic acid. Both you had to mix in a separate test tube, one part, A and B, A one part, B one part, and then few drops you add to nitrate broth after overnight incubation. If it is nitrate reduction positive, immediately you can see the red color. Right? Immediately you can see the red color. That is nitrate reduction test. Identification of Enterobacteriaceae group of organisms. And now coming to the other test, that is urease production test. Some of the bacteria will have the capacity to produce an enzyme called urease. Urease is an enzyme which will split urea into ammonia. So this particular test, enzyme urease production, how to detect, that is with the help of a medium called Christensen's urea agar. Christensen's urea agar. It is nothing but Christensen's urea agar means it is nutrient agar with 40% urea solution. Right, that is a substrate for this test. 40% urea solution. 40% urea solution will be added, and then 40% urea solution will be added, and phenol red is the indicator. So if the organism is urease producing organism, pink color will be produced. Means urea will be converted into ammonia. Ammonia is an alkali. In the alkaline pH, phenol red is pink in color. That's why we see pink color. Usually Proteus group of organisms will be urease positive. That is about urease production test. Now coming to the other biochemical tests. Some of the bacteria will have the capacity to produce a gas called as hydrogen sulfide. How this gas is produced? See, peptone water is there. Peptone is there in the medium in which the bacteria are growing. Peptone is nothing but combination of so many amino acids. In that, sulfur containing amino acids also will be there. Bacteria will utilize those sulfur containing amino acids and release hydrogen peroxide. And that hydrogen peroxide, how to check, how to see? We can't see hydrogen peroxide, hydrogen sulfide gas, because it is a gas with our naked eye. So how to observe it? That is what. See here, for that we prepare lead acetate strips. See here you are observing brown color filter paper. This is nothing but a filter paper which has turned to brown color. That filter paper we'll take and then we dip it in lead acetate solution. Lead acetate strip it is. See here peptone water is taken, bacteria will be inoculated in peptone water, and then lead acetate strip will be kept in the test tube and it is closed with the cotton plug. If the bacteria are releasing hydrogen sulfide, that gas will react with lead acetate here. Lead acetate. Lead acetate will turn into black color because H2S plus lead acetate leads to lead sulfide. Lead sulfide is black in color. Here lead sulfide precipitate is produced. Like that we detect hydrogen sulfide production. Instead of lead acetate we can use ferrous acetate also. Ferrous acetate also. If it is ferrous acetate strip, we use ferrous sulfide. Ferrous sulfide is the black precipitate formed here. If black precipitate is produced, the organism is hydrogen sulfide producing organism. Just like Salmonella typhi, Salmonella paratyphi B and Proteus species, all these are hydrogen peroxide, hydrogen sulfide, producing organisms. Right? That is about hydrogen sulfide. Browning of paper indicates hydrogen sulfide production. Now coming to the other biochemical test, a complex one that is called as triple sugar iron agar. Here why it is called triple sugar iron agar? Three sugars are there in this medium, glucose, sucrose and lactose. So we can detect the fermentation of glucose, sucrose and lactose. We can detect the gas production by the organism and also we can detect the hydrogen sulfide production by the organism. Three properties we can detect with this triple sugar iron agar test. See the medium is already I told three sugars are there, glucose is there, lactose is there, sucrose is there, glucose 1 grams, lactose 10 grams, sucrose 10 grams will be the composition. Along with that an iron salt, ferrous ammonium citrate will be there, ferrous ammonium citrate, and an indicator also is there, that is phenol red. Phenol red. See here once you inoculate the organism, inoculate the media, sorry, you have to inoculate. See, this is the original medium. This portion is called as butt, and this portion is called as slope. See, we have to stab the butt. Stab means we have to stabbing straight wire. With the help of straight wire, you have to stab it, and then you have to inoculate streak culture on the slope. And then we had to incubate for overnight incubation, and after overnight incubation you can see the color change. See here, if you are observing the yellow color on the slope and the pink color in the butt, that indicates glucose fermentation, right? Yellow color in the butt and red color in the slope. Yellow color in the butt and red color in the slope, that indicates glucose fermentation. Why? Because if the organism is glucose fermenting organism, first it utilizes glucose and the phenol red is the indicator. So phenol red indicator, in the acidic pH it is yellow in color. If glucose is utilized by fermentation, acid is produced, medium will turn to yellow color. And because it is only 1 gram, after 1 gram is over, it is fermenting only glucose but not lactose and sucrose. So it has to utilize the peptone present in the medium, that leads to red color, because the peptone utilization results in ammonia production, that is alkali. Phenol red is red in alkaline pH. And then second reaction we can see is fermentation of both glucose, lactose and sucrose, all the three, if it is having ability to produce, you can see like this yellow slope by yellow butt, because all three are sugars fermentation releasing acids only, so continuously yellow color, acid production, phenol red is yellow. And third, if there is no fermentation like this, you can see no change in the color. Here like this, no change in the color. That means there is no acid production, no acid production. And how to see the gas production? See here, you are observing a gap in the test tube. The medium is pushed up, so that indicates gas production. Here in this you are observing a black precipitate, that indicates hydrogen sulfide production. Ferrous ammonium citrate is there, ferric sulfide is produced. Right, that is hydrogen sulfide production. Gas production, either medium is pushed up or single air bubble or split in the medium. Right, black precipitate indicates hydrogen sulfide production. That is about TSI. And coming to the other biochemical test, that is oxidation fermentation test, that is called as OF test. To differentiate fermenters from non-fermenters. This is the OF medium, semi-solid medium, neither liquid nor solid. Bromothiamyl blue is the indicator. Bromothiamyl blue is the indicator because it is semi-solid and also it is not slope. It is called as a deep because the upper surface is flat. We had to take a straight wire and then stab it. You have to stab. Okay, if the organism is a fermentative organism, you can see the yellow color because bromothiamyl blue is there. Bromothiamyl blue is there, indicator. Glucose is also there in this medium. So glucose fermentation results in acid production, and bromothiamyl blue is yellow in acidic pH. So you can see yellow color in the tube with paraffin. See, two tubes you have to inoculate, one without paraffin, the other with paraffin. If it is fermentation, that is anaerobic, with paraffin, you can see yellow color. And here in both test tubes, with paraffin, without paraffin, it is yellow. That means it is facultative anaerobe, aerobe and facultative anaerobe, both fermentative. And if you are observing only there is no color change, means it is not a fermenter, it is a fermenter, no color. And that is about conventional methods of identification of bacteria after growing them in culture by using various bacterial culture media. So we have some automated culture techniques like blood culture. This we have Bactalert. These are the blood culture bottles. We inoculate the blood in each bottle and then in each slot. See, this is 1, 2, 3 like that. So many are there. We keep the bottles in this rack and then we close like this, and after 2 or 3 days we'll get the indication here on the screen. We open this and then we identify the bacteria. Like that, so many systems are there, automation. This is MALDI-TOF, a recent one. Matrix assisted laser desorption ionization time of flight. Directly from the clinical sample we can identify the bacteria. VTEC 2 is there. This is we have in our central laboratory for identification of bacteria, VTEC 2. Apart from that, we have so many molecular methods. Nucleic acid amplification test, NAT it is called as. And we have PCR, all of you know, polymerase chain reaction, real-time polymerase chain reaction. Molecular methods are available for identification of bacteria. Like that, we have so many other automations also for identification, but for you as undergraduates, that to dental students, up to this level it is more than sufficient, right? When you are studying this chapter, each individual biochemical test is a short note for you. when you are studying biochemical test, remember first you have to read the purpose. What is the aim of that particular biochemical? What for it is done. Secondly, you have to know the reagents. What are the reagents used in that particular biochemical test? Then third thing, if there is indicator, what is the indicator present in that? Fourth thing, what is the color, positive reaction color? And fifth thing, what are the examples for positive reaction and what are the examples for negative reaction? Like that, if you read, you can remember easily and then you can write it in the exam. Each individual short note is individual biochemical reaction is a short note for you. Hope you understand it, read well, utilize it properly and then read it. Okay, thank you.